What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with a great moment that went down in Fibo Germany. This is what we like about Behrouz Tabani. He is one of the hardest workers in the IFBB Pro League at the moment. And the man is always ready to show off his physique. What he has got. He's never shy. And he never hides anything from the fans. So this was a little post down that happened between Michal Krizo and Behrouz Tabani. And keep in mind, Behrouz here is 9 weeks out of Spain Pro. That same show that Michal Krizo won last year, and he was able to beat Andre Presti at that show and some other guys. So as of right now, we do not exactly know that Michal Krizo is still prepping for this show or not. Hopefully that is the case, and hopefully we will get to see this battle between these two guys. Because the last time he spoke about his competition plans for 2024, the Emperor Classic Spain was the one he was aiming for. He said that he had every intention of defending his title here. And we are really hoping that this battle will happen in 9 weeks. Because if we get to see both these freaks of nature on the stage, that is gonna be one hell of a show. And it is gonna be the one to remember. Because both these guys have their own strengths. Plus, we were supposed to see this battle at Prague Pro last year. Because Prague was scheduled just 1 week after Romania Pro. And Behrouz Tabani was scheduled to compete at Prague. But unfortunately, because of some visa problems, he could not travel. So this battle between these two guys is gonna be so exciting. Michal Krizo with his unbelievable size and freak factor. And Behrouz Tabani with one of the most insane conditioning in the men's open right now. I mean, his conditioning matches the likes of Hadi Choopan. And even at 9 weeks out, Behrouz looks to be in a phenomenal condition. So he is also planning to do Italy Pro as well, which is scheduled just 1 week after Spain. So again, I have to say some of these guys who are planning to qualify for the Olympia, who were there last year, they're gonna have some difficulty this year. Because if some of the other guys also decide to do multiple shows, it is gonna get really difficult. Because there are so many big names who have yet to qualify for the Olympia. Even Nick Walker is yet to qualify for the Olympia. So Michal Krizo also looks sensational here. He brings so much excitement to all these expos with his crazy arms and his insane freak factor. He looks so freaking huge here in Fibo. And Krizo definitely is one exciting talent in the men's open bodybuilding. He is one of the tallest guys out there. Plus, he is one of the most muscular guys out there as well. And we saw at the Olympia last year that he finally took care of that conditioning thing as well. So it is gonna be really interesting how he does at the Olympia this year. So there was also an interaction of Michal Krizo with a former Arnold Classic champion and the original Predator, Greene as well. So Greene is now 48 years old. And I really wonder if he ever looks back and regrets his decision of not coming back and have a go at Mr. Olympia title when the IFBB Pro League actually extended him a special invite, and not just once. So I cannot say about Greene, but the fans certainly regret that, because Greene was the only one who actually had a shot of dethroning Phil Heath. He was the only one who went toe-to-toe with him, even when Phil Heath was in his prime. And if Greene had not jumped the gun of not competing at the Olympia again, I'm sure he would have won the Olympia eventually. So the last time Greene was on a bodybuilding stage, that was like 8 years ago at the Arnold Classic 2016, where he had a really good battle with the late Cedric McMillan. Nonetheless, his legacy lives on. Next up, we have a physique update from the Egyptian tank Hassan Mustafa. So we thought this will be a longer off-season for him, as he himself announced after the Olympia last year that he was gonna take some time off. And one of the reasons was he had to take care of that tricep injury. Yes, he competed at the Olympia last year with an injured tricep. But it looks like Hassan Mustafa has been putting in a lot of work behind the scenes. Because this is his 8 weeks out update. And this is gonna be his first show of the season, which is probably gonna be Toronto Pro. Keep in mind, Akeem Williams is also doing this show. And some other guys like Quinton, they might also jump into this show. So this will turn out to be another stacked show. And I have to say, all the shows in 2024 so far, they have been excellent, starting with the Arnold Classic. Now let's talk about Hassan Mustafa and Toronto Pro. It is the same show where Hassan showed up arguably in his career's best look, and probably in the best conditioning as well. Because in my opinion, that was the perfect combination of size and fullness. And he gave Ian Valier a very serious one for his money at that show. And although Hassan wasn't able to win this show, but if you guys remember, the fans were really divided over the decision, because majority of the fans had Hassan Mustafa winning this show, and they all thought that Hassan deserved to win that one. So fast forward to Olympia 2023, where Hassan Mustafa plays just outside of the top 10, and that too with an injured tricep. And he was very much satisfied with the package that him and his coach Chad Nichols brought to the Olympia stage. So is he still working with Chad Nichols? No, as far as I know he isn't. He tagged Dorian Hamilton, who is the current coach of Antoine Weiland. So Hassan Mustafa will do this prep with Dorian. and he has got all the muscles in the world. He's probably one of the most muscular guys out there. He doesn't have the best symmetry, and he doesn't have the best flow either. So he has got to overpower his competition with that raw size. And if he can bring that right combination of fullness and dryness, he can be really dangerous. Because if you guys remember, Hassan Mustafa was previously working with Kriso, and Kriso mentioned that Hassan is one of the hottest guys to peak right. Rubiel Mosquera aka Neckzilla also might be one of the biggest freaks in Fibo Germany. Not might be, he is the biggest freak out there. Even before getting his pro card and delivering that sensational performance at his pro debut in Prague. He had the sponsors, he had a very big fan following, but he is now became a much bigger fish. He is now a much bigger bodybuilding star. So even though he is traveling a lot, making all those appearances, doing those guest posings, but his physique update will show you guys that he is staying very strict and very regimented with his diet, and also other protocols as well. So everyone pretty much knows that he is doing Dubai Pro in July. So that makes this update about 13 weeks out. And he looks pretty much on target for this far out of the show. So there hasn't been any official confirmation by Rubiel or even by Kriso. But if he delays competing another time, he is gonna lose a lot of the hype. Because he's already losing that hype. Because here is the thing. The fans were really excited to hear that he's gonna be competing at the Arnold Classic UK and the Arnold Classic Ohio as well. But he could not make it there. Then there was a rumor that it's gonna be Neckzilla versus the Mutant at the New York Pro. And that was actually confirmed by Kriso. And that isn't happening either. So hopefully Rubiel will compete not only just in Dubai, but some other shows as well. Because with Andrew Jack doing Dubai Pro, and that too coming in after having an off-season for the very first time, it is gonna be extremely difficult for anyone to beat him at that show. Especially if his body is so fresh. And it isn't just Andrew Jack that Rubiel needs to worry about at Dubai. There's gonna be Regan Grimes, there's gonna be Behrouz Tabani, and there's a chance of Brandon Kerry also showing up at that show. So hopefully he has a backup plan as well. Brion Ansley looked spectacular this year in Classic Physique division, and that only goes to show you how much his physique has struggled every year in order to get down to that 180 pounds, in order to make the Classic Physique weight cut off. I am sure if they decide to increase the Classic Physique weight cap one more time, just by a few more pounds, which by the way isn't happening, but if it does happen, Brion will be one of those guys who is gonna benefit the most from it. But again, I have to say that isn't gonna happen. I don't think the Pro League will do such a thing. And even though Brion looked at his absolute best with another 5 to 7 pounds on his frame, but he can definitely be better if he is allowed to grow, if he's allowed to be bigger. So what's the main feedback for Brion going into this year's Mr. Olympia? To build more quads, to have more legs, which is literally impossible for him at this point, especially when he's restricted. So here is a hilarious explanation of Brion on the size difference between a classic guy, himself, and an open guy Rubiel Mosquera. And damn, just look at Rubiel's hamstrings. They're actually touching his calves. That is just nuts. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.